Good morning, YouTube. It's been a while. In my defense, the weather has gone up and down and up and down and up and down, and the pressure has gone up and down and up and down and up and down. And it did a number on my system. Or I'm just getting old. I don't know. But it's been a couple of weeks. But this morning, I woke up and not only do I feel human, it actually feels like fall today. Like, we had to cover the plants last night, and I was like, you know what? I could just sit down and build in The Sims or play World of Warcraft because they just released Legion Remix last night. And yeah, I made a time-running character. Or I could get out and do what I'm constantly telling my WoW friends to do, which is touch grass. Or touch leaves. I mean, we'll go with one or the other. I was hoping that we could get like a really spectacular fall color walk, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. The weather has been so up and down, and I was doing some reading about what colors the leaves, etc. And most of it has to do with the amount of light that they're getting per day, which is why even the leaves in warm places do change colors. But the intensity has to do with the temperature. And we got down to where I was turning on my heated blanket for a couple of nights, like 2 weeks ago? And then summer came back. How rude. So we're getting some color, but I don't think it's going to be as brilliant as it has been in some years. That being said, it smells like fall, which is a hard thing to define. I don't know, what does fall smell like in your area? Up here, it smells like leaves, which have that kind of almost bookish, musty smell. Not bad. It's not a bad smell. It's a very good smell to me. And then there's a hint of sweetness, a little touch of, I don't know, Aaron calls it decay, but not in a bad way, I guess, question mark. And then there's always that touch of campfire up here until it really starts snowing, and then people stop camping. Used to be I would always associate fall with the smell of burning leaves. And some people do burn their leaves up here, but not that many. I would say nobody even bothers raking their leaves, but that's not true. We've got some people who are very yard proud, lawn proud, which I think is silly, because if I could replace all the grass in my yard with moss, I totally would. You don't have to mow moss. But yeah, I think it's pretty enough. But I don't think we're going to get incredibly brilliant color this year. It's also cool enough that I regretted, at least for the first quarter mile, that I wasn't wearing a t-shirt under my hoodie. I'm okay now. Which is why I didn't put a t-shirt under my hoodie, because if I did that, then I would just end up being way too hot. Winter walking. Or autumn walking. It's exciting. You know, I was looking on can't remember if it was Facebook or Instagram. And somewhere, I think it was from Ohio or Wisconsin, oh, that's a pretty rock, was saying that their oak trees were dropping more acorns. And if that's true where they are, it sure isn't true here. I've seen less acorns this year. Which is sad, because I like making little men wearing hats out of acorns. It's cute. Oh, I've been doing some more planning about my upcoming trip, which 8 days? I think it's 8 days away. I think. And I was talking with my cousin, who is, honestly, she's my favorite cousin. Shh, don't tell any of my other cousins I said that. And we're going to get together, and I don't know how much of it will actually get filmed. So I guess follow me on Instagram, because I know there's going to be lots of pictures taken. But we're going to get together and do something we haven't done since we were teenagers. We're going to go to a cider mill. Hopefully it's the one I'm thinking of. She's just going to take me to the one that she likes. But I remember when I was a kid, I would go to this cider mill that just in my mind is like the epitome of all cider mills. Because it was a big old apple orchard. And then it was on a river. And they had a big water wheel that they used to power the cider pressy thing. And you could go there and get fresh donuts, which normally I'm not a cake donut lover. But you gotta have a cake donut to go with apple cider. And then you could get fresh apple cider, and you could get it either cold, which I love, or depending on the temperature that day, you could get mulled apple cider. And I know that Walmart and those places have like instant mulled cider. Not the same. That's like, no matter how good store-bought apple cider is, most of the time it's missing, I don't know. Good apple cider to me almost makes your tongue tingle, and I don't know why. And a lot of times when I buy just store-bought apple cider, it kind of just tastes like apple juice. Only twice the price. Which just leaves you saying, why did I just pay twice the price for apple juice, which is not actually my favorite? I mean, it's okay. I pretty much avoid drinking juice, though. Again, I'm sorry that these trees aren't as vibrant as I was hoping that they would be. Maybe when I take my trip, maybe the conditions will be right, at least along the trip, for some better color. Also tomorrow, which I need to get off my butt and actually record tonight's chapter of Ivanhoe and tomorrow night's chapter of Ivanhoe, so I don't shortchange you guys again. But tomorrow, I am taking Soleil and Aaron to Tequamanon Falls. Because they're not coming on my road trip with me. So I was like, well, we can do a mini road trip. I guess I could be nice and actually move this branch off the road. If it's not terribly heavy. Yay! Okay, that's my good deed for the day. But yeah, we're going to go to Squaminon Falls. Probably film at least some of it. If you don't know Squaminon Falls, I jokingly call it the Niagara Falls of Michigan, because that's kind of what it looks like. It's not as big. But on a plus note, it's also not built up. I always wanted to go to Niagara Falls, and then I saw some pictures of modern Niagara Falls, like pulled back away from just the shot of the fall. And I was like, oh, there's nothing really natural left. At least not on the American side. And as much as I would like to cross the border and go into Canada, that just seems like it would be a huge hassle now. I don't even know. Do you need a passport to go to Canada? Or does just the enhanced driver's license do it? I don't know. When I was a kid, that was another thing I remember. Every year in elementary school, we would have a field trip going across the border into Canada to a pumpkin patch. Like there's not pumpkin patches in the US, but it was always so much fun. And back then, all you needed to cross the border was a copy of your birth certificate. I feel like that's changed. Although I haven't been out of the state since I was in the Army. I think my last trip out of the United States was just when I was stationed in Arizona. A bunch of us went across and spent the day in Nogales, which was kind of cool. I bought a blanket that I'm pretty sure I still have. Just one of those, like, woven wool, or maybe it's felt, I don't know. A nice blanket, though. And I think I bought a hoodie, but haven't seen that thing in at least 30 years, so don't have it anymore. I am not a world traveler. Also, I think there's somebody camping because I smell campfire smoke. We were out on a walk. Oh, that's a good tree. You're pretty. The other night, talking about how much I kind of wish that I could do smell-o-vision so you guys could smell this. And then I quickly retracted that statement. Not because I don't wish you guys could smell what the air smells like right now, but because I thought of how trollish a use that could be put to. Also, how overwhelming it would be for people who are very sensitive to overwhelming smells. Oh, definitely. Somebody's camping. Because now I can hear them as well. So, shh, I'm going to be quiet. Not that I think anybody could hear me. At least not over the generator they have running. You know, there's a part of me that gets it and thinks if I went camping, especially in like a big RV, I would want a generator because I am a soft modern human who likes her electrical comforts. But I don't know. At the same time, if you're coming out and camping here, like not at a campground, do you really expect modern conveniences? I'm still dubious about it. I don't know. I guess as long as they aren't throwing beer cans all over my woods, camp how you like. But I do want to go camping. I guess it's going to be next year now. We finally found a tent. I just haven't decided if camping when the nights are frosty is in the cards for me. Maybe. Maybe I'll try and do one night in the tent. But we finally bought a tent. Probably need one more, because I love Soleil and Aaron, and my oldest is not really the camping type. But cramming myself into a tent with those two giant humans doesn't sound like fun. It's a 4-man tent. And you would think 4-man tent means like it's a big tent, but it's really not. We popped it up and we're like, 4 very small people. Like, it would work for 4 people my size pretty good. And Aaron is constantly saying that he's actually not tall, at least not by American standards. But still, he's, what, just a shade under 6 feet? That's tall enough. At least in my books. I still can't believe that little 5-foot-tall me managed to have 2 kids who are both right around 6 foot tall. And then I remember that my dad was 6'4". I just took after my mom's side of the family, because she was 4'11". So I guess being 5 feet tall works. And I really do like being short. The only issue I have is I'm only 5 feet tall. Why do I have size 9 feet? Do you really need size 9 feet when you're only 5 feet tall? Oh, more people. We'll look at the woods. Okay, whoever's camping here, they're doing it right. They just have a tent, no generator. And a beautiful, beautiful view that I'm not going to film. Because, you know, privacy. We like to give to people. Anyway, going back to complaining about my feet. It's really hard. You would think that, I think size 8 is like the most common shoe size in America for women. But I still have so much trouble finding shoes. I think my mom had more trouble though. I don't know, she had like size 4 feet. So her feet were more in proportion to her body. 4'11", size 4 feet, that seems about right. I wore bigger shoes than my late husband's mom did. And she was 5'11". I think she wore a size 7 shoe. I'm clomping around in 8.5s and 9s. bodies are silly. Oh wow, it's been like 20 minutes. I hope I haven't bored you guys. I guess I'll sign off. Not actually done with my walk, but my hands are getting cold. Which is so funny because, like, my hands are getting cold, my nose is sweating. I love autumn. It's the best season in the entire world. There we go, solar flare. Anyway, thank you for walking with me. I sounded like I was about to cry. I'm not. Thank you for coming for a walk with me. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you're interested, let me switch hands again. If you're interested in Patreon, which you don't have to be, it's all good. Just some of the old book readings that I had to take down off of YouTube are going up over there. So if you're interested and want to follow me there, I think there's a link on my channel page that you could always go there. There is a free tier, and I'm going to try to put up at least one book reading a month on the free tier. And eventually maybe I'll get around to doing more stuff like this. But for now, Patreon is the home, or will be the home, of all those books that I had to take down off of YouTube. It's just taking me a while to get there. Also, on my channel page is a link to my Instagram if you're on there. I recently put up some really cool pictures that Aaron took on the night that he kidnapped my camera. And I could convince people that the Upper Peninsula woods are very haunted with those pictures, I think. Or that aliens have landed. But yeah, thank you for walking with me. Please do hit the thumbs up. It does always make me smile. It does stuff for YouTube too, supposedly. And I'll stop walking long enough to say, I'll see you later.